Are we live yet? Are we live? Is anyone there? Hello? Is anyone trying to look up my nose? That's disgusting. Don't look up my nose. That's nasty. Are we live? Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Hello? What's up? I know, I'm mental. Sorry. Let's have some fun. Why not? Why not? Times are tough, man. Times are rough. Time to have some fun. I am stacked. I am jacked. I am super excited. I don't know if you know this by my clothes today, but we are featuring on today's episode Labatt's Brewing. Yet, no, not a chance. Molson, not a chance. Corona? Ding, had to say it. Not a chance. Looking forward on this episode to bringing from Orleans, just outside of Ottawa, Stray Dog Brewing. Yeah! Get a beer. Get your beer on. Coming right now, Brewers Banter. Special Easter Monday edition.
Dog in now. What's up, Triple D Brewing? I see Lone Oak is on. Hey, what's up, Mark?
What's going on, Larry?
What's happening, brother?
Man, I'm just, living the COVID life.
It is odd. There are very odd times, man. I spoke to a guy on Kijiji today about picking up a 30-liter Sankey keg for some brewing, and it was kind of like there was absolutely no negotiation on the price. It was more negotiation on how are we going to make the exchange in a safe manner. So,
oh, really?
Bring a rock, lay the money under the rock, and then I'll lay this here. And oh my Lord, sweet honorable man, it's different times we're living in.
There we go. I'm just trying to position my phone here, so hands free. I'm a little bit of an angle. There we go. But now I can grab a beer.
All good, man. We've got so I like to go on and just sort of see who's on here. We've got some breweries on here, brother. It's very cool. We've got Lone Oak was on here from PEI. We have Triple B. We've got Hilltops Brew House, which is here in Nova Scotia. We've got Three Flip Brewing out of New Brunswick. We've got Russell Beer out of BC. Yeah, man, we've got some peeps on. Waller Street is on, so very, very cool.
Yeah,
very
my
cool.
homies in Ottawa. Nice.
That's good, man. It's good. Everyone's representing, man. Thank you very much for coming on, brother. I really appreciate it. It's very cool to have Stray Dog on. Very happy, and we've done this a few times. I keep saying we as if like I run a fucking broadcasting network or something. Like I've done this a few times, and it's fun, man. It goes pretty cool to let everyone know about the brewery and what's happening. So I appreciate you coming on, man.
No, we love it when guys like you do this kind of stuff. You know, the craft beer industry is more than just the brewers, and it's more than just the drinkers. It's the it's the people that do podcasts and blogs. That really support the industry as a whole and educate people. And so we really appreciate, especially during these times too, man. I mean, we need all the awareness and support that we can get. So thanks.
Thanks, man. It's awesome, brother. I couldn't agree with you more. You know what? There is, when you look at the entire thing, there really isn't much that I've ever experienced like the craft beer community. Completely different set of people. Even the brewers, again, Waller Street's on, and it's like, hey, some Ottawa folks. It's not so much like, oh, yeah, they're cutting into our sales. Fuck them. It's not. It's much more of a brotherhood with the brewery. And, you watch that episode the pre-show with Phil, the same thing, Dominion City sells out. They don't go, come back and see us on Wednesday. You guys can go dry until then. It's like, no, man, here's some other guys who have some fantastic beer. Go check them out. They're locals, man. Go support them.
Totally,
awesome.
man. Totally. Yeah, that's what small businesses is all about, and that's what community is all about.
It's awesome, brother. So I'm going to take a seat here, but before I do, we will later on in the show. I'm going to review this. This is the last one I have left. Every time I go to Ottawa and I get up there 3 or 4 times a year, I always stop into Stray Dog. I absolutely love the spot. It's great. I used to live in Rockland. So anyways, it's fantastic. So this is my last one I have left, the Session IPA, the Boombox. This is deadly.
I hope it traveled well. I hope it aged well. I'll be very curious to see how it is.
Oh, I'm excited.
That one we brewed over the summertime.
Nice. Nice. It's cool, man. It's good. Fuck it. We're cool, man. It's good. It's good. It's good. And we sometimes have the thing freeze up a little bit back and forth. So if that does, Colleen Hamilton says she's in Rockland. So we just got you frozen up there, Mark. You back, brother?
Yeah, I'm in. Is it me or yeah? Maybe it's me. I don't know.
You know, I think honestly, it's partially Instagram world too. I tried to get on earlier today to see Three Flip talk to Uncork New Brunswick, and it was just a frozen screen. So it is what it is. What it is, man.
We'll
So
get
yeah,
through it.
you
We
know
got here. We're good.
Done and done. Couldn't agree more, brother. And I don't know why. So I have a Stray Dog shirt. I have a Stray Dog hat. I have a Stray Dog leash and collar for my dog. I don't know how the fuck I don't have a Stray Dog glass, because I'm not really sure where I went wrong. But at least figured I would bring in Yellow Dog from out BC, and at least it's in a dog glass. It's in a dog glass, right? It's in a dog glass. Oh, look, so we got Kauai beer joined from Kauai, Hawaii are on. So that's cool too, man. What's up, guys?
Geez, everybody here, man. That's pretty
good,
cool.
man. It's fun. It's fun. Absolutely, brother. Cheers. Aloha. All right. So, dude.
Let's get started.
Obviously, I mean, there are some rumors that are spreading around about how Stray Dog got their name, and this has got to be. I got to hear the story. How does Stray Dog become Stray Dog Brewing?
Yeah, you know what? It's got very little to do with dogs, and more to do with it's a metaphor for life. So, just bear with me here for a second because I'm going to go a little deep on you. But
nice.
in life, we all have hopes and dreams and passions and hobbies, and not a lot of them are ever realized. And if you see, if you picture a stray dog, it's free to roam the world and kind of chase after whatever it wants, whether it's a rabbit or a bone or a squirrel. And my partner Justin and I always pictured ourselves as that stray dog almost, where we wanted to be a stray dog. So we both had some really good jobs, very comfortable jobs, the pension and the benefits and all that stuff. And we liked what we did, but we didn't love what we did. We knew there was something greater out there for us. Yeah, and so the whole idea about Stray Dog is really about cutting the chains or the leashes that hold you back and go after what you love and what you really, really want. Because in life, man, it's too short and you just never know what's around the corner. So take the advantage, take that time, go after what you want. And if you're not willing to take a risk, you'll never know what the reward is. And so we hope our story inspires people. We hope our beer inspires people. And we're certainly not out to change the world, but we're certainly out to change palates one mouth at a time.
Damn, son, that is deep. Wow. Damn. Yeah, I was expecting like one of us had a dog and it was just, we rescued it and like we couldn't come up with a name, so we were drunk, and that kind of sounded like that's fucking deep. I love it. I'm huge, man. I'm big into the Hawaiian culture because I mean you'll see the kind of the logo is the shaka, because I'm very big in terms of the Hawaiian philosophy, and it's that worldliness as well. You know what, that conceptualization of things being beyond you, of appreciating the life that you have that's here. And actually chasing it. So you know what? It's very easy, brother, to get in and sort of go, man, it's all about the pension. You know, and let me just put this to you in my own words. And here's what's neat is that, you know, I got a 16-year-old daughter, man. You know, just after she turned 16, she's talking about doing this with her life. I'm thinking about this, Dad. I'm thinking about that. And then one day she actually comes to me and he goes, you know what, Dad, I don't, all those other things I said, I don't want to do those. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? 16 years old, she goes, I want to get a job that has a pension. I'm like, man, 16 years old, I wanted to play hockey and do shit that I can't say on here.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, wow.
That's for sure. Yeah.
You know what? Well, you know, and I mean, like, there's some chirping on the whole, the new generation, and I don't know, man. There's a lot there, and we have to be careful that we don't jeopardize the dreams for so much reality, right? So I guess getting back to it, man, I love where the name came from. Huge, brother. That's awesome.
Thanks. Well, I mean, the easy, kind of the easiest, shortest way, the elevator pitch is, find what you love and go for it, you know?
Yeah, listen, so many people get up for work and they're sour about it, just pissed, you know, the idea you have to go again to that place.
Yep.
I always said that I would be just happy if I could get up and not be pissed, just almost not mind. But if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
actually getting up and excited about what the day brings because there's a passion and a love for that, I'm gonna be honest, man. There's more things in life than a pension.
Yep. Yep. Happiness and health. I mean, especially you look around these times right now, and that's the biggest thing. If you don't have your health, you've got nothing.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, brother. Couldn't agree more. So you guys, so for people who don't know where Stray Dog is, if you could explain to them. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Before you do that, Lisa Plant, I don't know if you know Lisa. She's like, quit my day job for a gig of Stray Dog.
Lisa Plant, she's pretty awesome.
Okay, I was going to say, if you want to just start submitting resumes, Lisa, go right ahead. Like, just you can just go ahead, bro.
Well, she's my biggest fan. Let me put it that way. She's also the love of my life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
She's my biggest supporter, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't be here without her. And the same goes with my partner Justin and his wife. You know, like having the whole family behind us, supporting us to actually take that giant leap of faith.
Yeah, man.
To go all in and say, like, what the fuck? You want to open your own brewery? And how much does that make? And there's no pension and there's no benefits. And you've never done this before? Yeah, sure. Go ahead and do it.
Yay!
Yeah. Let me just say, it took a while of convincing, and let's just say there's less sleepless nights now than there were at the beginning.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. And how long have you guys been around now?
Yep. So sorry. Back to your original question. So we are in Orleans, Ontario, which is say 20 minutes from downtown Ottawa proper in the East End. Which would make us smack dab in the middle between downtown Ottawa and your old stomping grounds of Rockland.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and we opened up in July of 2017, so we're quickly coming up to our 3rd year anniversary.
Yeah, awesome. I was going to say, because I moved out of Rockland in 2016, so I unfortunately missed that. We got a little hitch on the internet again, so I'll see that Lori is down with Tuscan Falls, so that's what it's like every day when you work at a brewery. Pure joy, which is very cool. I can only imagine. Back again?
Yep, back again.
Awesome, brother. Sorry, so I'm just going to say, no, Jesus, it happens, brother. It's the way it's working. Lori Babin here works down with Tuscan Falls Brewing here in Nova Scotia. Phenomenal brewery. So actually, I'm drinking one of theirs here now. It's a vanilla milkshake IPA. Absolutely phenomenal.
Nice.
You can see it's pretty damn dank. Anyway, she said she agrees 100% with you. She said that's what it's like every day when you work at a brewery. Pure joy. Like you just enjoy what you're doing. So that says a lot. Absolutely, that says a lot.
Yeah, that's that old saying, right? Like find something you love to do and you never work a day in your life. Honestly, Justin and I. And I shout this out too. Justin McNeil is a proud product of Halifax, Nova Scotia, actually. So
nice.
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
and my wife is from Newfoundland, so we've got like the perfect trifecta going on here.
What part of Newfoundland?
Well, Mount Pearl. Townie, I know.
St. John's. I'm a townie.
Yeah.
I'm from St. John's, brother. Yeah, I'm a townie, man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But her family's up the shore, so.
Oh, I'm gonna say townies are funny, man, because you get all the Baymen that are all together, and if you got to roam the Baymen and townies, well, let's say you're stuck. But if you just got to roam the townies, then it starts getting broken down into what part of town you're from, and then it's like, oh, I'm from the East End. Oh, I don't give a shit about the East End. I'm from the West End. Oh, really? I'm from Shea Heights. I'm from Mount Pearl. Listen to my son. Let's not even a fucking person from the Pearl. Anyways, man, it's just the way. It's Irish. It's Irish. It's the reality.
Yeah,
like
that's a riot.
Get us away from Newfoundland. We get along perfectly with everybody.
Yeah,
it's all back
true.
there, and then it's like, scraps on. Ain't putting up with your shit, my son. Ain't putting up with your shit. So listen, man. You guys have been since 2017. You've been around a while. One of your favorite beer names that I've ever seen is Shaggin' Wagon. I mean, and for anyone who has not seen this can, it literally has the van from Dumb and Dumber on it to Shaggin' Wagon. It's hilarious. That's a phenomenal. I thought it was a phenomenal beer. It was what introduced me to you guys. Do you have any idea how many beers you guys have done in terms of lineup? I don't even mean styles, but some different things that you've done since, and what has been some of your best sellers?
Yeah, so we've done probably around 48, creeping up to maybe 50.
Nice.
Um, yeah, which is quite a bit, I think. Bestseller, I'd have to say Shaggin' Wagon consistently.
Nice.
Um, and then shortly after that would be our California Common called This One.
Okay.
It's the only, yeah, the Cali Common, that's like an amber. It's California Common is North America's oldest style of beer. And we decided to come out with that one early on as our first beer just because nobody else was
Yeah.
doing it. And so
Right.
the whole idea behind that was to come out of the gate with a beer that nobody else was doing, that stood apart from all the other new beers that were coming out. Um,
Nice.
and I'm sort of going off on a little bit of a tangent, which I tend to do from time to time. But what was really cool too about the California Common is that it's a style of beer that appeals to a lot of different people that are just getting into craft beer,
Hmm.
and craft beer geeks like us who are like, oh, that's an older style. It's really well done. It's really cool. Plus, we did it as home brewers and it won some awards, so we knew that it was kind of a good one to come out of the gate. But it's the only product we've got available in the LCBO here in Ontario.
Really?
Mostly here in Ottawa, and that's kind of by design. We really want people to come to the brewery to feel the vibe and gain the
Yeah.
experience, see where the magic is made, and then get to meet people like us and people like you, and it's a really cool thing. It's a lot of fun that we've created.
Couldn't agree more. I absolutely agree 100%. So we just spoke a couple of weeks ago to like Badlands and the Wood Brothers, and it was also in Ontario, and that's the idea. That's almost killing them more than anything. So Badlands, for example, they put out 4 or 5 releases on a Friday, and somewhere between 3 and 10 minutes they're sold out. It's crazy, and it's very easy to sit back as a businessman, business person, and sort of go, that's pretty good. You should be happy. But that's not the ideology behind what they're doing. They want people to come in and drink their beers there, have them fresh off the tap in the keg. Um, Make sure you're always taking care of those first ones that were through the doors and stuck there, as opposed to the person who's just stopping by for a quick second. You know what I mean? And just
Mhm.
grabbing your beer because it's the new. I haven't logged this one on Untapped, so I need this friggin' one, right? Um,
Yeah.
and there's a bit of a loss to that, and that's sort of the thing that's almost hurting right now, is just missing that socialization of the beer. Now, to come back to the California Common, like you said, I agree 100% as well. You know, I for a long time couldn't stand a goddamn lager. Couldn't stand it because it was all I was force fed. But when I was
Mhm.
younger, drinking that dessert, you just had shitty beers, and that's what you had. And it wasn't until I actually tasted lagers for what they truly should be that it's like, wow. However, you also have these things, these lagers or Kolsch's or Pill. I mean, Pills is tough. Or a California Common, where you have to have a beer that people who are used to drinking, the Labatt's, the Molson, the Bud, the Coors, whatever. Corona had to say a thing. Where it's like, what equates to this? Because I really believe that with craft brewing as well, once you start getting into some of the imperial stouts, the imperial IPAs, some heavy porters, you get into the heifers of the box and stuff, that there has to be a maturity of the palate. You can't just walk in there and go, damn, I like that. Not when you're used to drinking, your typical, very easygoing beer.
Yeah, I was a Molson X guy growing up, when I started drinking. And then I started discovering different types of beers. The big reason behind that was because when I go to house parties, people kept stealing my shit. So if I went and bought like Lowenbrau or Laurentier or like Labatt 50 or whatever, like that was the only stuff. If I saw somebody else drinking, I'm like, dude, you just stole my beer, man.
You just made me cough up, dude.
But that's kind of how it started. And then and then sorry about that. I didn't mean to.
It's awesome, brother. I love
You're choking up.
You're bringing
Uh,
tears to me, brother.
but then the whole kind of idea evolved, I guess, over time, where like I remember when I moved out west, and that was my first taste of Big Rock, and really my first true taste of real sort of craft beer. And then it was Mill Street after that, and then it just kind of evolved from there. Anyways, so when you're talking about like your evolution of the palate, I still remember I was in Florida and I tried Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Right? Classic. Like that is like the gold standard of pale ales. And I remember at the time, like, holy crap, it's bitter, it's piney, it's resinous. And then I absolutely loved it. And then I kind of started getting to bigger, hoppier beers. You just, your palate starts chasing the hops. And then I tried it again. I'm like, man, that is weak as fuck. And then it's not like it's not the same. It wasn't the same. And then I tried it again just recently. I'm like, man, that is an impeccably beautifully made beer. Like that is just so well done. I rediscovered it again. And it's funny because now I'm getting back into lagers now, not the big macro stuff, but certainly like the craft beer lagers. We make admittedly we make a great Pilsner. It won a brewing award in Canada for a reason. It's a classic, and that's the thing. It's when you nail it, you nail it. Like a Pilsner is really tough to do. Yep. And again, props to my partner, Justin, who's the brewer as well. Like, he killed it. And you can't hide behind it. You can't dry hop it or anything like that. And then this year we made it again, and then we harvested the yeast and we reused it and made another beer, and it's called Psycho Keller, which is a Keller beer. Nice. And which is what I'm kind of drinking right now. It's like a 4.6, and it's incredible. I love it, absolutely love it. But I'll be evolving to a double IPA very soon.
Oh, nice.
Called Deep Thoughts. So
nice, brother. Nice.
I got my whole night planned out, Larry.
I love it, man. So, and anyone who has questions, feel free to send them through. I'm going to go back through some first, brother. Cool. I know that Brew Riders had mentioned a couple of times that they'd love to see Shit Hoppins come back. So any thoughts about that one?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, there's a lot of beers we'd like to bring back, Shit Hoppins being one of them. Bright Future, the Deep Thoughts, we get a lot of requests for that again too. Truth of the matter is, it probably will come back at some point. It's just really hard to tell when, because and especially right now, I mean, there's a lot of demand for any time. This one, Shag and Wagon, like all those mainstays that we already have.
Yeah.
That there's very little room to keep pumping out new ones all the time. We need an empty tank to do that in some time, and those are kind of two things, admittedly, we really don't have a lot of.
No, exactly. Yeah, I hear you. Big Spruces, I don't know if you heard from Big Spruce before, from out here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, absolutely. Big fan.
They're awesome, brother. So they had joined. I'm not sure if they're still here or not. They had joined in. So again, Shit Hoppins is unreal. Let me see. Stray Dog's 50 Shades of Grisette is unreal. Just crushed a pack of Jagged Little Pilsner this week. Loved it.
Hi, nice.
Right. Great pills. Best name for any beer is Stray Dog's Blue Nuit. That's awesome.
Blue Nuit? Blue Nuit, yeah. That's awesome, our blueberry saison. Yeah, she's deadly.
I love Shag and Wagon. Get it, O'Grady's Outpost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and love those guys.
Brew Riders also just asked, will you guys be trying to brew a milkshake IPA?
So I got two answers, and they kind of contradict each other.
Yes and no.
No, and never say never.
Okay.
So we've never we've used lactose before. We've used it twice, but we've used it in a porter called Guilty Pleasure, and then we used it just recently in a stout, a coffee milk stout called Mugshot. That we did with a local coffee roaster here called Happy Goat. Nice. But we've never done one in an IPA, and I mean, I know you're drinking a milkshake IPA. I'm not a huge fan of those, and I know Justin isn't either. So we tend to brew beer that appeals to us, and then hopefully it appeals to other people as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, if there's, we like to challenge ourselves as well, and so that's why I kind of went from the no to never say never. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, no, exactly. And because, and you know, to go right back to that it's not something you like now. It wasn't necessarily anything that I appreciate either, but you go through these palate changes, right? That just all of a sudden it's like, wow, I've had some that I'm not particularly thrilled about. I've had one at Bandit when I visited Toronto. That was phenomenal. It was I think it was like a blackberry milkshake IPA. Great. This one here from Tuscan Falls, they've gone all out as well. They've actually, with the vanilla, they've brought in the vanilla beans from a contact in Madagascar. Makes a it makes a huge difference. I mean, it just, holy shit, it is so smooth and thick, right? Yeah, when you're doing things like that, it definitely makes a huge difference. So we have questions as well. Oh, Season Plate, which is out here in Nova Scotia, says, can we get your stuff in Nova Scotia anywhere? Not now.
Nope. And I mean, as anybody in the industry now knows, while the federal government has like, they gotten rid of all the interprovincial barriers for trade for beer, each province is governed by their own liquor control board, and they make up their own rules. And so I'll give you a great example. I can send my beer down the 401 4 hours away and sell it in Toronto, but I can't bring it over 20 minutes across the bridge.
And Gatineau. Just cut out again, guys. Just give him a second. We just bring it right back in. He's talking about going over the bridge in Gatineau because it's in Quebec. I see your question there, Sean. Yeah. So are you back?
So, sorry. Did I freeze? Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. So, yeah, what I was saying, I don't know how much you heard of that, but yeah, I can get it to Toronto, but I can't sell it across the river in Quebec. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. I would love to get it to Nova Scotia and maybe someday, but yeah, not.
So, out of curiosity, is that issue Ontario or is that issue Quebec?
It's all provinces. Every single province has their own liquor control agency that makes the rules. It's a whole import-export thing. It's ridiculous. And if you do it for beer, then it'll have to apply to like the dairy industry and manufacturing industry. And of course, every province controls their own industries, right? And taxes and whatnot. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, Season Plate looks, we'll get together. I get to Ottawa a fair bit, so I'm just going to bring some more back with me. So it's all cool. I'm going to sell it to you for $30 a can. I'm just joking. Do you guys serve takeout food along with beer pickup option?
Negative. So we are a manufacturer of beer. Plus we have a pretty rad tap room. And we're dog friendly. Yeah. Because we don't have a kitchen.
Absolutely.
But the way that we go around that is we do have a menu that is actually highlighting for local restaurants, so that you can do skip the dishes or takeout or whatever. So that way we don't have to deal with the food stuff, and at the same time, you and us also support other small local businesses that are way better at making food than us. And you can bring your doggos in. Yeah, it's great.
God, awesome, fantastic mentality. Absolutely, 100%. And there's some breweries here as well that are very, very dog friendly. When you just talk about cross-border issues, you even get in the county issues here where some counties, it doesn't seem to be a big issue with dogs. Other counties, they seem to be pushing more in terms of you can't have a dog there. So it gets very frustrating. Off Track, which is close to me, likewise, they support a local pizza place down the road. Pizza place loves it, man. They come up and deliver your pizza right to your table, but they don't have to mess with it. You want to buy potato chips and stuff? Not a problem. There's potato chips there. But they make beer. They're not into making food.
No, yeah, we sell gourmet popcorn that we don't even make. But again, we're supporting another local business that does that, right?
Awesome.
But it's funny, the whole dog thing too, man. It was, so in Ottawa Public Health has never had an issue with it, God willing, so far. But in Durham region, which is just outside of Toronto, they did have a problem with it. And so our friends at Second Wedge, they used to allow having dogs in the same situation as us. They didn't produce, manufacture, handle food in their facility, but Durham Public Health came in and basically said, you cannot under any circumstances have dogs in your tap room anymore. And that was a big part of their clientele. And it just kind of adds to the vibe. So they came up with a petition, and they got local people to sign it. And then they were like, oh, send it over to us, man. We'll get people here to sign it too. And they send it all across Ontario. literally, I have no idea how many signatures they got, but it was probably in the thousands anyways. And I do believe that Durham Public Region, the public health authority changed it so that
Nice.
now they can allow their dogs on patio and inside the tap room as long as you're not manufacturing food.
Nice. I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, I've yet to walk into a brewery yet and see a dog that I wouldn't drink after. Some people,
Yeah.
absolutely, 100%. Not a chance.
So true, man. So true.
So what is your role at the brewery? Obviously, you're one of the founders, one of the owners.
Yep, that's true. So it was founded by Justin and myself. And then just out of sheer necessity, I guess, and interest. And so I was a home brewer, and that's how I met Justin. He was also a home brewer. And we just loved making beer. And then we loved just the industry behind it. And he comes from a PR background, public relations, and so do I. So when we first opened the facility, we were, both kind of learning the system together and trying to figure things out. And then things just kind of organically evolved. So he started doing more of the brewing aspect of it, and then I started doing more of the business development aspect of it. And I was, Justin's a funny guy. He's an engaging guy, but he doesn't always like the spotlight, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah, I get that, man.
And me, sometimes I just can't shut up. So and this thing here just kind of got in the way, and so I by default became the mascot.
I love it.
The face. So I started doing a lot more of the sales, and that's something that I really enjoy. And I enjoy talking to people. And Justin loves doing everything in the back. He loves recipe development. He is very specific and very critical of his own process and his own recipes, and so he tweaks and hones all the time. And man, when you're really good at something, you just kind of stand back and you just say, man, you just go, just do your thing, and I'll do my thing. And we just kind of fell into these roles that worked out organically really, really well, and it's kind of led to this success that we've had.
That's great. Yeah, because obviously this is easy for you. Likewise, I am just like you. I'm learning to get over my shyness and my ability to be at the spot. It doesn't,
I can't wait till you fully come out of your shell, Larry.
You know what? Can I tell you an honest to God, absolutely fucking scary fact? Is that in my family, I'm the shy one.
Oh my God! How many people you got in your family?
Well, my family, my mom, my dad, my brother. Like, I'm not talking about my wife and my daughters now, but I'm talking about when I was growing up. I'm the shy, quiet one, man. And that should tell you there's a lot of personality in the room when you put us together.
I bet.
It's crazy. Right?
I've never met a shy or quiet Newfoundlander before.
It doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It doesn't exist. Absolutely, brother. So that said, then, how, we kind of touched on it a little bit in terms of, your real desire to bring people into the brewery. You much prefer that. Obviously, while you've only got one beer that you can get at an NSLC because you want people to come to the brewery, experience the tap room, experience the people. How is this pandemic affecting you guys?
You know what? It was really scary at first. It was really scary to think that we had to close the tap room. I mean, we had a lot of events booked in March, and going into April, we had a shit ton of stuff going on, some live comedy. We had a lot of music acts that I had booked. And, our Friday night crew was, just kind of that steady thing, and it was a good source of income. And then when we made the decision, to close the tap room, it was like, oh my God, what do we do now? And how are we gonna shift our business model on the fly? But to be honest with you, I met with Justin. It was like a Sunday or a Monday, and we made a quick decision just to pivot everything online. And said, you know what, if we're going to survive, we got to do this, and we've got to start offering home delivery. Okay, what does that look like? We set the parameters for that. We said, okay, let's do it. And so we were one of the first breweries in Ottawa, not the first one, but we're one of the first ones to adopt an online store and start offering home delivery. And I think the ones that did have been doing, fairly well. To be honest with you, we're almost out of beer. And it's a good thing. it's funny because it totally like one whole revenue stream, which was our licensees, dried up like that, like in an instant, as soon as restaurants couldn't open.
Huge. Yeah, huge.
Yeah. So we're looking in our fridge and we're looking at all these full kegs and we're like, Jesus, what the hell do we do with this now, right? And then we don't have enough cans, and then we're gonna have to can more, and then try to figure out what to do with the beers and the kegs. And so it was a lot of like long days and a lot of wringing of hands and stuff. But I think we've adapted pretty well. But like I said, to the point now where I open the fridge and there's no beer inside, it's a little scary.
Are you guys brewing now?
We're always brewing as much as we can. Yeah. If there's an empty tank, we fill it. Yeah.
That's good, bro. That's good.
We're brewing anytime today, and we've got 2 days of packaging this week, and then more next week. So the nice thing about all of this too is that we haven't had to lay anybody off.
Awesome.
All of our staff, everybody's role obviously is very fluid, and it's changed quite a bit, again, because we all have to adapt, but at the same time, the hours may not necessarily be as much as they were before, but they're still there. And I think so far everybody's happy. And at the same time, I'm going to make sure I say this too, is that we're still making sure that everybody takes all those precautions necessary to make sure that they're safe, their family's safe, that they're not going to be in a situation where they're going to, come in and possibly infect the rest of the staff, because we can't afford that as well. So that's kind of the situation we're in right now.
That's awesome. That's good, bro. That's great to hear. Again, sort of to get back to, I think a lot of people, it's very easy as a consumer to sort of go, yeah, man, the cans are going at the door. That's I don't really understand what the issue is. But for a lot of breweries, I mean, for some it's meant to be bottle, can, kegs in the tap. That's it. But when you start growing, when there starts being a bigger appetite for what you're producing, then there's a lot goes into kegs in terms of what goes out to, like here we have Battery Beer Park. So you've got, your little beer stations, some of your local restaurants or whatever, some of your local, there's a lot that sit in kegs. And then all of a sudden that changes. I can only fathom the amount of stress that immediately goes, holy shit, like you just said, you have to completely change the ideology and the model. Now, it's great that you guys are delivering. I think it's fantastic, and likewise here. But people just, I throw this out here because people need to also have an appreciation that puts a lot more on you. So, when you're brewing and you're cleaning the tap room and you're taking, cleaning is 75 or 80% brewing. You're cleaning, you're sanitizing, you're greeting people in. They're coming to you, and you stay busy. You're busy. You're fucking busy. There's no doubt you're busy. But then when you all of a sudden have to switch to now you have to go to different areas of town and actually prepare the packages, almost like box lunches, prepare them all, and drive around, makes a huge difference in terms of the strain on your manpower and where you guys are focusing your time. It changes things.
It does. It's. I mean, when we put together a business plan, pandemic was not part of it.
No,
so
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But again, if you don't adapt, you die. You know what I mean? And you've got to be nimble, and you've got to act quickly, and you got to do what's right, not only for your business but for your staff as well. And that's kind of what we did, And to be honest with you, I mean, there's we, especially like I'm out on deliveries every day. You can ask my wife. Like I had a couple of days off this weekend. It was the first time that I've had like 3 days off in a row since this whole thing started.
Yeah.
I'm out on the road every day. I take a lot of precautions when I deliver beer to somebody's house. There's a lot of physical distancing, but man, I got to tell you, and it sounds weird, but there's a lot of people cooped up in their houses that are really glad to see somebody that's not their neighbor and not their family. And when you bring the beer as a delivery, boy, are you making people happy? Let me tell you.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
It's a really odd thing, and we're reaching people we've never reached before because we are in Orleans, and this is a funny mentality in Ottawa. If you live west of Bank Street, coming to Orleans, 15, 20 minutes down the highway, oh my God, that's a day trip, I'd love to try your beer, but it's just so far away. And And yeah, I know you say that in Toronto, you know, like, come on, really? Like,
Yeah.
Toronto's huge, or Montreal for that matter. But here in Ottawa, like, it's just a funny mentality. Anyways, but now we're reaching people on the west end of town and downtown.
Nice.
People have never had our beer before, have never even stepped foot in the tap room, are discovering our beer. And I really hope when this is all over that they remember who we are, and I hope that they like what they had, and that, you know what, if you really like the beer, wait till you come to the tap room, man, because it's a whole other experience.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree. It's phenomenal. Tap room is absolutely fucking phenomenal. It's a great spot. Feel very cozy in there. You guys have a fantastic little collection. I shouldn't say little. It's quite an impressive collection of coasters and stickers and decals
Yeah,
in cases, which is always cool when you're visiting from out of town and you look down and you go, man, I've been there. I know them. Shit, they got some places from back where I'm from. It all of
yeah.
a sudden just gives this instantaneous sense of coziness. The dogs that are in there, just it's very easygoing, very chill, very cool, and I couldn't agree more. Berta J says Stray Dog is doing a great job. You have a wonderful staff. Someone had set up here. Just was looking forward to Orleans Beer Fest and you guys being there. I mean, there's no doubt you're loved. So what's absolutely fantastic is being able to stretch those arms out. And so, like I say to my kid, you can also, you can use this pandemic as being, man, it's just fucking horrible. And don't get me wrong. I mean, we're over 110,000 deaths globally. It's fucking horrible. But
Yeah.
you also you can't just bury your head in the sand, put your head under a pillow and cry. You have to sort of go, okay, what can I do about it at this time? And at the very least, personally for me, all of a sudden, I have time to talk to people like you, which I love. I'm a brewer. I love this. I love just chatting. I love that there's some people interested in this. I'm not doing it for any goddamn popularity. I'm doing it more to help the breweries so people know how to get your beers and know who you are. Create that sort of networking and relationship building. But this time, the fact that all of a sudden now my time, I'm not going to rugby practices, I'm not dropping off to school, I'm not needing to do this, that, or whatever, I have more time to do it. Likewise, I think it's fantastic to hear that you guys now have reached out to other parts of that city and have people now trying your beers where all of a sudden, I'm going to tell you what, 15 and 20 minutes is not a distance to close that isn't worth it anymore because they go, damn, I like what they make. And I
Yeah.
like them. And they helped me get through this crisis by putting shit on my doorstep. That's cool, man. That's huge respect. Absolutely.
Well, like I've said from the beginning, you know, when there's alcohol, there's hope. And
Truth,
it
man.
gets,
Yeah.
yeah, and it does. I mean, it's a coping mechanism for some, and you know, it helps people get through some tough times. And I'm not saying it's what did Homer say? It's not. It's the cure, the curse and the cure, or something like that for all of
Yeah. I remember that.
fucking
Yeah.
people's problems, whatever
Yeah.
it is. But you know, humans are social creatures, and beer is the ultimate social lubricant. And when you take one out of the equation, man, I mean, it's really tough. But so people still need that, and it's really cool now. Like I celebrated my birthday on Friday, and we did a Zoom thing, and it was, you know, even though we weren't in the same room, it felt like me and my friends were all in the same room. We're all talking
Yeah.
about what we were drinking and just
Absolutely, man.
laughing, and it was really cool, man. And that's how, like, we learn as humans to
Adapt.
adapt,
Yeah.
and we have to.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. And it's funny
Yeah.
because my birthday was like a week ago today. And
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
likewise, man, obviously the fucking coolest motherfuckers are born in April. So I was all
True.
stoked because my wife decided to go out and get me a grain father, and I was just very happy with the people at
Oh,
Noble
nice.
Grape here, locally, because when I opened up the boxes, they had a Sparge water heater in there, and I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't know you would know to get this. She said I had no idea. She said the lady at the Noble Grape said that you needed this as well. I'm like, did she mention anything? Did she mention anything about a fucking SS Brewtech fermenter or anything? Or
That's awesome, man. That's really cool.
it's good, man. It's awesome, brother. So, what are the plans after the quarantine? And obviously, try to get back. You know, not to try, but get back on your feet. There's no fucking trying. You're doing it. You're gonna get back on your feet. And people come into the tap room. What about new beers? Anything different? And I see you've got some questions, Ale Mary Brewing and stuff. I'm gonna answer those in a second.
Sure.
I'll get Mark to answer those. But any new thoughts on beers? Any plans?
Yeah, you know what, pandemic or not, I mean, we always want to push some new beers, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, of course, is it brings people into the tap room. It's craft beer industry is not what have you done for me, it's what have you done for me tomorrow. Like what do you got coming up?
Yeah.
So, and we like to try new things. We like to challenge ourselves. So that's number one. So there's always something that's going to be new. I think honestly, the biggest change for us, Larry, when this is all over, is considering keeping some element of home delivery if we can.
Nice, man.
So that, certain parts of the city, there's still going to be those people that still think Orleans is too far. And when you add traffic back onto the highway, people are going to be less inclined to drive even further east. But we still want to get our beer in their hands. And so, we'll probably incorporate that a little bit as well.
I love it.
But other than that, then I can't wait to rebook some of my some of the local talent that we had before, and just make people feel connected again.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, brother. I love it. I love it. So Kylie says, can't imagine 15, 20 minutes away being too far. No. Waller Street says birthday twins. I love it, except that, so he's got fucking baby blues. I got shit brown, and his beard is way cooler than mine, man. It's just nasty. Bastard.
I'm surprised you can see the color of my eyes.
Yeah, I can see. I've been staring into your eyes, Mark, ever since you said beer.
Yeah, you had me at beer.
Yeah, seriously. Ale Mary Brewing asks, how do we get some in Whitby, Ontario?
Wow, good question. Actually, I used to live in Oshawa for 3 years. So, and you know what? You got some really cool breweries in the Durham region too. Yeah, you know what? Let's find a way to get it in there once this is all over. Let's find a few licensees, and I'll be willing to drive down the 401 for you.
Nice, man. So, Ale Marie, you hook up with Stray Dog with Mark. Waller Street said I meant me. Is Waller Street in there as well for April? It's just all that's it, man. We're just swooping up the year right here.
Oh,
April.
man, Aries all the way.
Damn. See, it's all push forward. Ain't shy as shit. Just go. Bulldoze it, man. Bulldoze
Love
it.
it.
I love it, brother. So listen, Mark, before I get into this beer review, is there anything else at this point that you'd like to add?
That's a really good question. Well, you know what? I think the biggest thing, though, is I'm just, from what I've seen, I'm really glad that, people are staying healthy and staying safe and respecting the whole physical distancing thing. But more than ever, whether it's online or me driving around, there's just an even more attention to supporting local, whether it's a brewery or local market, or especially our restaurant partners who are and those in the hospitality and tourism industry that are taking the hit way more than us microbreweries are. Let's not forget those people, because they have families and they've got bills and they've got shit that they're going to have to deal with even more than we do. So let's not forget them. Let's keep supporting them. Let's do what we can. Let's all stick together. So
well said, brother. Very well said. There is zero fucking surprise whether they got you out front doing the talking, man. That's awesome. It's well said. You're deep, brother. I love it, man.
Thanks, man.
So Boombox, I'm gonna stand up to get this. Boombox, it always is backwards, everybody. Let me see if I can flip the camera around for a second to show. So Boombox.
Hey, look, it's Brad from Brew Donkey. Hey, man, love you too.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So Boombox,
I love that you've got that Boombox that you bought probably this summer. We only release it in the summertime as a session IPA, and that came about because Justin and I wanted an IPA that wasn't going to knock us on our asses while we were still working. And and anyway, I hope it traveled well. I hope it holds up, because as we all know, hoppy beers are better fresh. But man, that's looking really good.
It's looking great, brother. It's looking great, and I got a nice smell of it as soon as I popped the can. Yeah, listen, my big issue is, like I said to you before, I have no problem admitting that I'm a beer horse. So whenever I go anywhere and I do some traveling, just the beginning of this year, I got down to Louisiana. My brother lives down there, and I saw the
cool.
NCAA championship football game. A huge LSU fan. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
But got to hit up some breweries down there to Gnarly Barley were fantastic. So I bring back some Gnarly Barley. I bring back some Parrish. I bring back some Great Tigers, some Flying Tigers, some great. Anyways, I just bring back some beers. I go out to Ottawa back in February. And
Yep.
yeah, I hit you guys up, Bicycle, Wall. I didn't get to Waller this time, actually. Went to Waller last time. Hit up Bicycle, you guys, OBC, Dominion. Anyways, bring back some beers. I leave Ottawa and fly to Vancouver for rugby sevens, which was the weekend before everything got fucking shut down. The following week, I was supposed to be in Austria. But anyways, I come back with a shitload of beers from BC. So much that I have to get my daughter, who's come with me. We have 4 fucking carry-on bags that are just pretty much beer and like 3 pairs of underwear in case I shit myself. I'm just joking. I had 4 pairs of underwear because I knew I shit myself. But you know what I mean? Like, and that's it. So the fridge gets stacked up all the time. Then I've got the kegerator behind me. So I've got a couple of kegs here right now from Big Spruce and Tusket. And it's like, and besides brewing. So yeah, man, I may have a problem. We don't need to put a title on it, and I'm fuck off everybody. I'm okay with it. So
It's only a problem when you run out.
right, yes. So I have held this specifically in the hopes I was going through the fridge a little bit ago, and I'm like, damn, I've still got my Stray Dog, and I was hoping that I could get you on. So I'm stoked to have this. So
Cool.
Even if this tastes like shit, I'm going to look at everyone and go, it's phenomenal. But I know it's going to taste good. It absolutely looks.
Yeah.
It looks great, and I have to get a Stray Dog glass. I feel bad. I have it in the yellow dog. At least I tried to stick dog water.
I'll have to send you a glass, I think.
Listen, man, I don't understand how I don't have one. I'm fucking confused by that. But anyways, it looks fantastic. Oh my god, the citrus.
The color looks great. The haze is beauty.
Very, very orange smelling. Almost like a Tropicana. Like, wow. Yeah. Beautiful smell. The head is nice, sits well. Yeah, brother, that traveled and aged well.
All right. Good to hear. Very good to hear.
I would crush the shit out of this in the summertime. It actually still has maintained, and it shouldn't have, but it still has maintained that freshness. And you can see beautiful lacing. Yeah. It's phenomenal. It's great. Wow. Comes in at 4.5%. It's held up well. It's still
good. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
We have a habit of when we do can, and it's been a complaint from some people, just still don't understand, but when they crack their can, like they'll get a bit of a spray because we do kind of overfill. So even though it's a 473 mil can and it's supposed to weigh in at about 485 to 495 ounces, we fill up to usually 500, 509. We want to make sure that we cap on foam, that there's hardly, or if not, any oxygen left, so that there's no chance of oxidization, that it's as fresh the day we canned it. And that's really cool to see that, and it doesn't obviously.
It's holding. It's obviously making a huge difference. I've bought beers that I bought a flat of and that were fresh, and IPAs that some of them came out looking like this, and a couple of cans came out almost looking like an over fermented banana, that dark kind of color, and that's the oxidization.
Oh yeah, you can tell right away if something's been oxidized or it just It's
exactly what's happened. It's phenomenal. It's held up well, brother. It's held up well. I'm impressed.
Cool.
I love it. I'm not surprised because I've yet to have a beer from Stray Dog that I was like, Another question that came through, brother, is we'll do this one quick. You know what? Actually, I'm going to hold that one. Because we're going to move on to 5 fast facts. If you haven't seen this before, we do 5 fast facts where there's no preparation for it. I just bang out 5 fun questions to you, okay? Because we have 5 minutes left, and if we have time, then we'll get to that last question. Cool. All right. For some reason, when you guys go to get the trade name, the trademark, the copyright set, get all the legal paperwork for Stray Dog, it says you can't use that name. It's already been taken. It's already been used somewhere. What do you think you and Justin would have named the brewery?
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Destined for failure. I don't know. It's a good question. I actually never thought of that before.
So you had to, what would you figure?
If we had to name it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, that's a really good question, actually. It's funny, I had probably 5x5 Brewing. It was another one I had in mind.
Cool.
Yeah, 5x5, which means all clear.
I love it, brother. I love it. That's awesome. Okay. Let's say if you had to write a book as a brewer, a biography, what would the title be?
5 fast facts. There's nothing fast about this at all. These are hard, man.
Title of your sex tape.
Yeah, walk a mile in my Blundstones, I guess.
All right, how about we hold into that one? Here we'll go. We'll go with an easy one. Name a brewery that you really want to try but haven't yet had the opportunity.
Oh, that's a tough one too, actually, because I've tried almost all the white whales that I've had, like that I've always wanted to. Yeah, There's really not one out there that I haven't had yet.
Really?
That I can think of right now. Yeah, probably. I'm going to say Three Floyds because I can't think of one beer that I've had from them yet, but it's definitely on my list.
Like a Zombie Dust or whatever? Or...
Yeah, I haven't had the true Zombie Dust ever.
Nice. Okay, that's cool, man. I love it. There's COVID-19, besides the damage it does, it completely wipes out hop strains except for 2. What 2 hop strains do you hope would survive?
Citra, Galaxy.
Love it. I love it, man. Love Galaxy.
They're very versatile, man. You can do a lot with those 2.
Damn, can you ever. All right. Let's see. If you had to take one beer, and I mean like a big-ass German stein of it, full to the brim, on a roller coaster, what beer would that be?
Pilsner Urquell.
I love how simple that comes. All right, we'll end on this one. You could go back and change what your high school graduation book says. It would change now to say most likely to
be the hoppiest motherfucker ever.
Yeah! Boom! Knuckle off. I love it. Mark, it's been a pleasure, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure. I am looking forward to just crushing the shit out of this boombox when I get off this. It's phenomenal. I'm trying to record it, so I will let you know. It will be playable on my story for the next 24 hours. Otherwise, if I can record it, I'll put it on IGTV and on YouTube, and I'll let you know. We're going to get cut off in 1 minute, brother. So thank you very much. I have had a blast. It's been great meeting you, man. I'm looking forward to crossing paths and meeting you in person, brother, and sitting down and crushing a few.
You bet. Anytime, Larry. Thanks for doing what you're doing.
Done. Thanks, brother. And likewise for you, man. Very much appreciate you bringing smiles to people still, despite dark times, brother. Cheers, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
all right,
brother. Cheers, Mark. Bye.
Peace.